how was your journey into NCC? How did it begin?
I joined NCC in as a
So, how did you prepare for the Republic Day camp? Can you please tell us that?
it was a long journey. It was a and difficult process. There were a lot of selection processes, so I had to hone my skills.
So, what will be a typical training day looks like in RDC?
In the pre-RDC camps, a typical training day, we would wake up.
So you were into music since childhood.
Yeah, I
That
was
was
into-
your interest area. So how did you feel to represent RDC of Andhra Pradesh and Telangana?
It was a surreal experience, and since our directorate had won the overall culturals championship.
Hi, hello, welcome to Pallavi Talks. Today we have a young girl, an NCC cadet who have represented Andhra Pradesh and Telangana directorate in RDC camp. Hi Srinidhi, welcome to our show. So, what have inspired you to take NCC, to get into NCC? Can you please tell us?
In my childhood, a teacher, one of my teachers, she has inspired me. She has told me about NCC. So I was excited to join NCC when it was time for me.
Okay, how was your journey into NCC? How did it begin?
I joined NCC in as a JW, as a junior wing cadet in 8th grade, and I finished my A certificate in 9th grade. And again in 11th grade, I chose it as a certification course in Delhi Public School, Nacharam, and that is how I began NCC.
So, who was your inspiration, and what is that driving force which has dragged you into this?
There was no single inspiration, but multiple people, and I would say that my seniors who have represented
Okay.
our school previously in RDC camp,
Okay.
Sergeant Prem Kritika, she was a huge driving force and inspiration.
Can you share us a defining moment in NCC which made you push harder, push further? Any some a moment which made you think of this seriously? By what which you have got motivated to continue into this, or there should be some driving force, right? You may have taken up with your inspiration from your seniors. That's good, as you have mentioned, but there should be some force which will drag you more and more into this.
The selection process for RDC, the dream to go to Delhi and be there, in performing in front of the president, being in front of the prime minister, meeting all the dignitaries. That was definitely a huge driving force that made me work harder and achieve my goal.
Okay. So, how did you prepare for the Republic Day camp? Can you please tell us that?
It was a long journey. It was a and difficult process. There were a lot of selection processes, so I had to hone my skills and get better every day because I was competing with cadets who were much older than me. Most of the B certificate and C certificate cadets were my competition, and they were college students, and I was younger than them, so I had to work harder, and also I had to balance my academics with that. So I had to put extra hours and practice everything.
So, what will be a typical training day looks like in RDC?
In the pre-RDC camps, a typical training day, we would wake up after our breakfast. We would wait for the canter to come. Then we would go to the auditorium where we would practice our cultural programs. We would come back during lunch break and go again, and we would return around 6:30. Then we would have a little time for break, dinner, and then we would go to sleep, finish our daily activities.
So, how were you able to balance your academics and the training over there?
Over there, I used to study when we got free time, and I also had help from school, classes.
The school has given you extra support as well.
Yeah, extra support after I came back.
Good, that's a good thing. So, what was the key selection criteria, and how did you make sure that you stood out of it?
The key selection criteria, there were a lot of talented students, and there was a lot of competition among them to get selected because from all over Andhra Pradesh and Telangana cadets were there. But the most important thing that the selectors were looking for was they should be different from the others. They should have unique qualities, and while we should also be ready to, you know, learn and
Okay.
to,
Ability to learn.
ability to learn
Mm-hmm.
and quick grasping of what they would teach us. The
Okay.
choreographers, what they would teach us, we would have to learn it fast because there was a lot of competition, and we would not know if we were selected until the last moment. So
Okay.
I was different because I had sitar, which no one in the whole directorate played.
Oh, so
So
you were into music since childhood.
yeah, I
That
was
was
into
your interest area.
yeah. In 11th grade, actually, I represented my school in DPS Society Nationals
Uh-huh.
and Nationals, Hindustani Music Nationals, and we won second place over there.
Good. So you have multiple facets to your
Yeah.
personality. So how did you feel to represent RDC of Andhra Pradesh and Telangana?
It was a surreal experience, and since our directorate had won the overall culturals championship in the Republic Day camp, it was very special for me because I was a huge part of the cultural events
Okay.
and performing in front of so many dignitaries, army and navy chiefs. It was a huge moment for me, and it was one of the best experiences.
Of course. Can you tell us about your selection criteria more? I mean, what are all levels are there into your selection
It
process
was a
and
long selection process which started around July and August. It started with school level selections
mm-hmm.
and then unit level. Unit level, they tested us for our drill, for our physical fitness, for our cultural activities, for our discipline. Then we got for the group selections, then intergroup selections, and then finally for the director selections where we had to represent the final team that represented Andhra Pradesh and Telangana got selected. There were multiple selection process in between the camps also.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a long process, which ended. The selection process started in August and it ended in December.
Were you confident enough that you will make this, or you were just giving your try?
In the start, I was not as confident,
Mm.
but when I got to see other people's performances, I believed more in myself. I knew that I had it in me to get selected for the
Of
director.
course. What was a memorable moment in your RDC experience?
the it was it was a
The whole
the
thing.
whole thing was very memorable, and I remember all the details, but I would say the highlight of my experience was definitely sitting next to the prime minister or like, performing in front of the president. It was surreal. I could not believe that they were actually there beside me.
Wow, that's great. So, during this experience, did you get any chance to interact with any of the dignitaries? And if so, how did that feel like?
Yes, I got a chance to perform in front of the Chief of Naval Staff, Chief of Army Staff, Chief of Defense Staff during their visits, and also the Chief Defense Minister visit. I got to
All
perform
the
in front of.
higher officials of
Yes,
Army and
yes,
Navy
most
both.
of the
Yes.
higher officials.
Hmm.
So uh, I got to interact with them. Not exactly interact, but I got to hear their speeches and their words of wisdom, which inspired me a lot.
Ah, great. So you shared experiences, their experiences.
Yes, yes. I got to know about their
Any
experience.
interesting things if you can share here? Any interesting story which you felt like, because they are all super high professionals, so there might be something which is very inspirational also for us to grasp.
One the I would not say their experiences because we had limited time with them.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the officers that was with us,
Mm-hmm.
Lieutenant Colonel Ashutosh Gupta, he was
Mm-hmm.
he's also the commanding officer of my unit. So he was there with us, and I asked him once why he selected Ladakh Scouts as his regiment.
Yeah.
So he let me know about his story during his training in IMA, Indian Military Academy.
Mm-hmm.
He had a setback because of he fell off a cliff
Yeah.
in a mountain, and it got him back. It held him back a term, and he had to repeat. So that made him decide that he would work in the highest of the highest mountains, and he would not let anything pull him back. So it was a inspiring story, and I learned that I should not let anything set me back. it should give me more strength.
That's a good one to take back. So what are the key leadership qualities that you have developed or inculcated in NCC?
In NCC, we get to interact with a lot of officers, a lot of high post officers. So, and the motto of NCC is unity and discipline, which are the key of making of any leader. Like, we should be able to talk to every single one. We need to have empathy, and which we get through the NCC process.
So do you think this process or this training or being into NCC have changed you as a person?
Yes, I would say definitely it has changed. While I am still me in the core, it has given me a lot of experience to how to interact
Interact
and
with people.
survive with other people, because I've not stayed out of my house before, but I stayed with around 40 girls
Okay.
for 35, more than two, for almost 2 months. So, like, I know how to survive outside my house without. It is very. It is a friendly place, but I've not lived by myself before, and it has definitely given me that experience as
So you
well.
have gained so much confidence, I should say, by
Yes,
seeing
yes.
at you. Okay, what values from NCC do you think they'll help you in your life beyond this cadetship?
The motto of NCC, unity and discipline. I've
Mm-hmm.
definitely Discipline has helped me a lot
Mm-hmm.
in becoming better and sticking to a schedule. And also, NCC has given me leadership qualities,
Leadership qualities.
yeah, which has helped me with my volleyball team as well. I'm also the captain of the volleyball team.
Volleyball team. Oh,
And
great.
yeah, we have won clusters,
Mm.
CBSE clusters, and my team
Okay.
represented in the nationals. So
Okay. So, what are your future plans and what advice do you give to your juniors?
I definitely aspire to join the armed forces in the future
Mm.
and keep serving the country. My advice to my junior cadets, or like my juniors, would be that do not give up your dreams for anything,
Mm.
because you would have the dream only if you have the capacity to fulfill your dream. So I would say, don't give up on your dream and keep working hard towards it.
So, when did you think that you will be a fit in this NCC or the Republic Day camp and all? Because this is not a usual thing which maybe girls may do prefer.
uh,
I mean, of course, the generation is changing though, but still.
when I saw my senior get the best cadet award, it definitely inspired me. And when I was joining NCC again for my B certificate, I knew that I would be a cadet who would represent the school in Republic Day camp. I just had that confidence in me because I have done sports previously and all. I knew that I had to
Okay, so
keep
you
up.
were into sports and you were into all other things, so that made you come into this, right?
Yes, yes. Also, I would like to say that both my seniors who have gone to RDC before me, both of them are girl cadets. So it definitely
Mm.
inspired me that I have to keep up the
Girl power.
girl power. I have to keep up the legacy of going to
Yes,
RDC.
yes, of course.
And I hope that my juniors will also
Definitely, that is the reason that we.
continue the legacy.
Yes. Srinidhi, can you tell us more about your family, your background, and all?
I don't come from a defense background, but my parents are patriots,
Okay.
obviously, and they support me in anything I choose, any dream I have.
Mm.
They definitely show their full support and give me all the guidance I need. And they have been a huge part of, obviously, they are a huge part of my success.
And you are the only child in your
No, I
family.
have a younger brother.
And of course, I can say by looking at you, he'll follow your same footsteps.
I hope he does.
Let's hope so. We'll get to know more about you, Srinidhi. Tell me your hobbies and interests and more
Obvi-
about you.
I represented in the culture. I was a part of the culturals team, so obviously I'm strong in my culturals.
Mm.
I'm a musician.
Ah.
Yeah, I sing and I also play sitar,
Mm-hmm.
as well as volleyball is one of my biggest passions as well.
Mm-hmm.
I've been playing volleyball since ninth grade, and I represented our school in clusters also.
Mm-hmm.
We won the clusters. I was the captain of the team.
Wow.
Yeah, I was supposed to go to nationals, but I could not go to nationals because of the camp dates clashed, and
Okay.
I've But
You can give it a try again.
yes, yes, sure. I don't. Music and volleyball are two parts of my life that I don't want to give
Give up.
away.
Even for NCC
Yeah,
as well.
NCC as well.
Whatever happens.
NCC will always be a part of me, but music and volleyball are some things that are close to my heart, and I'm going to keep practicing both of them.
That's the spirit. Keep it up. Thank you, Srinidhi, being with us and sharing all your details. And all the best to you in your future goals.
Thank you for having me.